All right, peeps. Welcome to the chart show where it's all about dancehall music down to they refuse it. You don't know this is your boy Shells alongside me, my bro Jerusalem.
Check. It's another one.
It's another one. We're there. Big up Saska, you know. But people alongside big up Saska, we're gonna big up dancehall music because we're here to give you guys the top 10 songs where I run road here in Jamaica in the realm of dancehall music. I will never miss because what I only will listen to the people. So enough love and enough respect to the people them who are tuning in. Because the people them who are tuning in from over foreign, thanks to Irish Jam. You know, the thing got beer vibes right there. So. And of course, if you're new to the show, before we get into the music, the top 10 itself, Jerusalem and I, we like to just bring up some stories, start some conversation, and just enlighten, or I like to say, edutain the people when it comes to matters of the culture. And Jerusalem, we have an interesting one for talk about. Dancehall artists and their lifespan in the music. Oftentimes, especially when young artists are pop up, we always like to hear the narrative. Oh, them now got about too long. Or the music what them make now no longevity. But Jerusalem, from long time, you kind of bit down to a maths and or a science. So most of them you artists, 3 years you get them tops. 3 years them have. And if they don't really make nothing out of 3 years, then they're in a trouble. Is that the right formula for say, oh, every artist, once you're going into the business, you have 3 years, and if you're not doing it in 3 years, trouble in it.
Well, based on my evaluation and estimation, I guess it has to do with technology and stuff and how these artists have to put out a lot of songs. But back in the days, when you have a young artist or boss, you might at least have like a 5-year span in the business in terms of before I guess people start get tired of them.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So like even, I'll use some earlier examples. For example, like when Alexis did bus.
Right.
Alexis did bus in the early 2000s. And basically, his career did actually last long in terms of him did dominate for at least, well, not really dominate, but him name didn't have the circle for at least about 5 years. And most of the artists them in that time, at least would have get at least a 5-year run then or a 5-year stretch where them on certain shows and things there. With the advent of technology and the more social media that has come around. And even before, even after Lexus, for example, even an Idonia or even a Busy Signal. At them time there, when them did come out, you could at least expect them for kind of last or have them name a, be around and bubble up for at least 5 years or something. No. 3 years time and it's like I wonder, it's like you might need a cool reminder to say, okay, all right, yeah, remember that person.
So Jerusalem, is that a factor of the quality of the artist or his or her music or the quality of the consumers?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture still because as a consumer we're so bombarded with all type of that's
information and something.
At least before we didn't have time for certain things settle. You understand what I mean? Actually, it never so dominant where we require an artist to find a songs or for the space.
Yeah.
So quick
hits as a matter of fact. Not just song, but hits.
Yeah. To be totally honest, these nowadays artists, when you really pray to them, some of them they are more skilled than the previous artists. Yeah, because these artists actually are right now and they're more melodic.
Yeah.
And most of them have a variety of style in terms of them is more sing J's. Back in the days, a man just VG alone and you tell him to sing a thing there, a key or do not name him off. So them artists are kind of more versatile in terms of and how them deliver them music and stuff.
Yeah.
Plus them actually can write.
Point. I think you brought up a very interesting thing in terms of the advent of social media and how everything marketing wise is just sort of strong numbers game now, like streaming and everything is like a numbers game. Eyes, the amount of eyes where you can get for your matter over everything. And I think that it just based on my experience, it's just like I think at that I like the main difference in terms of like why an artist like as I say Alexis could have like a longevity in terms of career, and then you have artists nowadays it's like, oh, well, them just gone after a while. And let me just explain further.
Yeah.
Back in them time, without the social media, and a good artist for bring out my explanation, a man like Kiprich never really have no song on road for a good while. But say every year when Sting come around, it's like Kiprich was like one of the big staples, just because of his ability for perform. Like every time he goes somewhere for go perform, it's like a good opportunity for reignite the fan base. And I think the divide with that generation and this generation, I would say so many times on the chart show, which is why we implore a lot of the young artists then for strengthen the performance side, because streams and social media, yeah, it look nice. But when they get introduced to the people, they're always lost. And once they lose the people in a real life, there goes your longevity. You get me? So I feel like back then, because you never have the advent of streaming and social media for distract and disconnect an artist from the people, it's like the longevity could have always last, because the best way for kind of bridge the gap and kind of help with the longevity of the nowadays artists, it have to come from performances. I don't think having a one song or this stream 3 months ago, top 10 or whatever, I don't think that I go strong enough if them can't perform.
Yeah, you bring up an important point, because this kind of lead over into performance and sustainability. Yeah, as we normally say, if an artist really want to make money in this business, they have to learn how to perform, because performances are going to be a staple in which you really kind of stay with the audience. Everybody can find a hot song, right? But once you find a hot song, you're going to have to enter the market and as a performer to kind of give the longevity for you to sustain the song. You get me? So I think one of the disconnect with this generation is the performances. Most of them really can't perform because of various things. Dancehall change in terms of, remember, one time they made have to learn around sound. They have to go around and studio and practice and them stuff there. While nowadays, not for them them just learn it real quick because of technology. So them never get the growing pains of going to barbecues and learn how to perform and and get that little stage presence there and all of them stuff there.
And since we're talking along the lines of good performers and longevity in the business, we could just do a very chart show thing of us. And Jerusalem, we could start call out some name of artists so we know have the quality, we know have the talent, we know I'm push numbers, but there's just seemingly a disconnection with the people in terms of their performance ability. Because our show full up of the new artists, them, we could see who can pick from this group of generation and say, yo, this crap, and say, yo, what nobody know, but you just need to work on the performance. And also in the same breath, let's pick out who from the new generation can actually perform.
Okay. Out of the new generation, me da put Valiant as a good performer. Me da put Craft as a good performer.
Facts.
And me definitely da put Skengenite.
True. Rockstar.
Yeah, and the reason why why me da have these artists in there is not particularly that them catalog big or anything. I think it's more of an energy thing.
Yeah.
Them understand what a stage performance is really about, or a live performance.
Yeah.
It has to do with energy and interaction and all of them stuff there. So out of that new age class here, this is me not talk like you have the previous class would be like the Mavadas, I don't have them Vibes Scott and them people.
Yeah.
Me I talk the newer generation.
Yeah man.
And if you notice, me not mention Alkaline or even Massacre. Even though them are part of the newer generation, I don't think them actually are good performers. And
agree.
Our next person with adding not a good performer is Chronicler.
Yep. And I'm like the fact saying have those three, because if you were supposed to take it back to the argument, Jerusalem, if you were supposed to take it from a streaming point of view or a hits point of view or a catalog point of view, yeah, these three man are the juggernaut. You get me?
Yeah.
Three man are not normal. But my problem with Massacre and Jerusalem, I know you share this because we mentioned it before. Massacre does have a song selection problem. You understand me? I know him always just seem for at some point in performance, people, him always choose the wrong song at some point for the crowd just kind of dead out little. But luckily him have a hit what can bring them back. But a good performer in my book, Jerusalem, you maintain the energy there straight through. Look on a man like Capleton.
Yeah.
Straight through. Like right through. That it no dip, none tall. You get me? I say Alkaline is the same thing. He have the catalog. But sometimes I watch Alkaline on stage, sometimes I wonder if him care about the fans. Like, you get me? I say, and La Boss, even though he has improved, because we don't know La Boss.
Yeah, it was complete garbage one at the time.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Capleton, because we have to highlight like the older generation. And him at the night, Elephant Man would be a good performer. And as bad as thing is, Vegas is an actual good performer.
That is it.
So just implore the newer artists them. I think, and as we said, the name them will call out. I think if Massacre really want to dominate, him definitely have to learn how to perform. Because let me just like use examples.
Yeah, man.
I was very disappointed in his one of his latest one, which was the Jamrock Cruise. All right, not because it's a different demographic you have there. That doesn't mean them not come to see a dancehall show. I guess more explicit type of songs. They're gonna sing about changes in life and this bunch of
slower type song.
Yeah, the people them don't want to hear that, bro. The people them want to see what go on in the dancehall. Them want to get the energetic stuff them. Then you can incorporate the slower stuff them during the course of the performance. But you have to come up with the energy. You can't come up with this slow thing and then I try build up energy. That's why you see even with that Skeng, I understand the concept of coming out with a bang. The Skeng always come out with the one he might come out with the hottest song or the closest hottest things. He now come out with no lukewarm song and then try build up. He might come out with the biggest bang and then we work our way down after that. And an almost similar thing to Kraft. Almost a similar thing with Valianto.
Yeah, I agree. And for the benefit of the listeners, I mean, there are so many other young artists where we can big up and criticize. But the reason I would name these guys is because for them songs them I make the chart often, these are the names where we even get feedback from overseas to say, yo, how Jamaica is receiving these guys. Also, we could big up 450 because from a that time 450 a good performer as well out of the young.
Him is a good performer and can improve on certain things. I think some of my performances them kind of get boring, but they have the attention of the females.
Yeah.
Next good performer is Dexter Daps.
Big up that. Yeah, man.
But yeah, him find a lane with ladies them.
And before we go into the chat, we just get a little trouble now. Since it is clearly his season. How do we feel about Vybz Kartel as a performer?
I don't think Vybz Kartel is a good performer. What him have is them have the hits them and them have the excitement. So people will bypass his lack of, strong. Him do have a strong voice, and that is why more time I see him perform on tracks.
Yeah.
But because him have the hits them and the ladies them love him and the excitement and everything, people
and him can work a crowd.
Yeah, man, he definitely know how to work a crowd. Most of Kartel and performances when him by himself, When I talk when them a crew of them on the stage and him come out and him DJ one song and cause say that was a little cheat that's a cheat tactic
Cheat code,
that where the artists them kind of use after a while. Everybody just bomb rush the stage and you just come and sing hits and and then you pull out and then you set back your hits and then so that will make people feel like you can perform. If you're supposed to do a full set by yourself your hour, then you really see who are the real cream of the crop.
Facts.
So
much to talk about, so much to reason about, but people, we're gonna know to think, isn't me? We're gonna know to think. Do you guys agree with our lifespan for our artists, dancehall artists? Is it true that the lifespan is shrinking? But alright, people, to make sure to keep the conversation going and make sure to tell people at the chart show, keep the conversation going, people. And of course, we're going straight into the number 10 tune, we're going straight into the chart. We just talk about him as a person with a lot of potential.